guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to hand people's problems back to them when they're being mean or bitchy or whatever to you, because we don't have time for other people's problems. Okay, so if you're confused right now, that's okay. Let me enlighten you. This is something that had taken me years and years to learn and discover, and I only wish that I had learned it earlier, like in high school, for example, where it would have been extremely useful. I'm just gonna tell you a little tidbit. So one day I had a run-in with a certain person in my life that is a constant in my life, can't get rid of them. Anyway, this particular run-in had me really stressed, really upset. I don't like confrontation, but especially when I can't work out what the fuck I've done wrong to cause said confrontation. And as many of you may know, because we all experience it, that is what a lot of our confrontations are like. We don't know what we've done wrong or why we've gotten this particular reaction from a person when we don't feel like we necessarily deserved it. So I was in that particular position. It had been a build up over a couple of years, and I eventually came head to head with this particular person in my life. It got to the point where I was really upset and I was laying there thinking, woe is me, like I don't deserve this, why, has God forsaken me, all that sort of shit. Sort of stopped and I thought, let's just try to shrink myself. I don't have an appointment with my psychologist for another couple of weeks, so I'm gonna have to get through it on my own. What would she ask me? So I did, like a bit of a mad person's inner dialogue with oneself, sat me on a couch in the corner, put my shrink hat on and said, what's upsetting you? And I said, well, this particular person thinks that I'm a bitch and blames me for all these things that have happened in their life, and I'm upset by that. Then Shrink Me said, why are you upset by that? And I said, well, because I'm not a bitch and I'm not to blame for all those particular things that went wrong. Shrink Me said, okay, so why does it bother you if you were not to blame and you're not a bitch? And I said, because she thinks I am a bitch and she thinks I am to blame, or she's telling people that I'm to blame at least. Shrink Me then said, okay, why do you think she thinks that? And Patient Me sat on the couch and went, I think she thinks that because she actually doesn't like me. And then Shrink Me said, why doesn't she like you? And Patient Me said, because I'm confident, because I'm pretty, because I'm skinny, because I've lived a really good life. I've never wanted for anything in my life. I've lived a very privileged life, if you will. I grew up in a lovely home with a great family who worked their asses off to provide us with everything we could ever want and need. And Shrink Me said, okay, so why do you think she doesn't like those things about you? And I was like, oh, a fucking light bulb moment. And I went, because I am, and I'm representing the things that she doesn't have in her life and perhaps wants in her life. And I've got everything and she doesn't. Shrink Me's like, okay, so why doesn't she? Why doesn't she have those things? And I realized that, the reason that she, for example, isn't fit and healthy is all coming down in this particular circumstance to her choices and what she puts in her mouth and the way she chooses to live her lifestyle. So therefore that problem wasn't mine, that was hers. So I just handed that shit back to her. The whole, my privileged upbringing and everything obviously stemmed from the fact that she didn't have one and possibly wanted one, or felt like she was missing out, or felt like we were rubbing it in her face or something along those lines. I don't know. So then I realized again, that's not my actual problem. That's her problem. And I handed that shit back. And once I got to a point, even though I did have to have this madman inner dialogue of realizing that the things that were really, really upsetting me were actually not my problems. They were someone else's. And I could literally just take that and go, here, you deal with that. That's yours. That's nothing to do with me. It made my life so much easier. The other great thing about having this particular inner dialogue and doing the why, and getting to the fucking root of the problem is because you can also realize in some circumstances, why is that person upset? That person's upset because I spoke my mind. Why did me speaking my mind upset that person? Because I was blunt and bitchy as fuck and they weren't prepared for it, and I was probably really rude. Oh, that's all completely my problem. I need to go and apologize. So it works both ways. Either way, you are getting to the root of the problem. You are working out if it's your fault. Therefore, you need to go and do what you got to do to make it right, or live with the consequences of just being an asshole. Or you realize, hey, that's actually not my problem that you're jealous of me because you never got to win that particular award or whatever. That's your problem. You don't get to dull my sparkle. I'm gonna fucking win my award. I'm gonna live my best life because I'm proud of my life and I worked damn hard for everything I've got. So you just gotta nut these things out internally sometimes to be able to live your life, your best life, without people upsetting you. And I'm not gonna lie, it still upsets me all the time when these sort of things occur and happen, even if they're not my problems. But it does take some element of stress away to know that, oh, that's coming from that place. And what it allows me to then do is to have a sympathy and an understanding for the person that I've had the confrontation or altercation with in the first place. I'm like, oh. So I stop being mad at them. I stop being upset with them because I realize, oh, that's not really your fault. You don't know you feel that way. You don't know that you're struggling with these particular issues in your life, and I worked it out and I've handed that problem back to you. But I also empathize and sympathize that you're going through that. So I'm gonna just, just want to be the best people we can be, don't we? So this is one of the ways that we can do it. Well, that was a fucking heavy video. I think we all need a drink after that one, don't we? Woo! Okay. So if you liked this video, please subscribe. Probably don't share it with a friend. Let's just keep that between us because it was a bit deep, and I think that it's not going to work if people don't know me as well as what you guys do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Wow, I'm trying to be professional, and all of a sudden, I have seriously bad pimples at the moment, and they're all really itchy, and I'm really struggling not to itch my makeup off. Real talk.